more than just monitoring numbers. There's monitoring anyway. So I hope I've answered your question. Then Mombi had a question about blockchain and so forth. I think I've made this point before. I will say three things really. First, I've been quite clear about our views on Bitcoin and the Bitcoin-like items. So that I don't want to repeat. It's quite clear that from our perspective, that is something that we cannot support. And if you want to invest in those things, well, you know, it's a bubble of a kind, and be ready to lose all your money in that whole operation. And indeed, if there are concerns, there are other concerns. But I think we have kind of, particularly our Novorish, in Kenya, been so excited about the Bitcoin thing, and they're putting their money there. It's dangerous because people may put in all their money, and then in the end, you'll have a serious issue in particular ways. I don't want to bring comparisons and so forth, but at the same time, I have to tell you that we are not doing this alone as a central bank. We are doing this with our peers around the world. DG has been participating in discussions around the world. She represented us in Washington, D.C. Recently on discussions about this. I also have been in various places on this. I'll be speaking, I think, later this week on some of these issues. So the point I'm making is we are not doing it by ourselves. The idea that the central bank has been sitting on the side of the road and only now we're being woken up because somebody has said Bitcoin doesn't ring true. So let me leave the Bitcoin out of the picture. Is that okay? Then the other things, I said there are three. So the other things are blockchain. We've made the point that blockchain, the technology itself, is something that could be useful and has potential to be useful. We are not Luddites. We are not anti-technology. I've made this point before. On the contrary, the issue here is to make sure that, and actually last time I think I gave you the example of even the technology about nuclear energy. I mean, in itself, it's a pretty good technology. And it has been used. We've managed to use it in particular ways, even curing cancer, even electricity, all these many things. But of course, you have risks. You have risks because you could get somebody walking around with a nuclear thing in his backpack, right? You don't want that to happen. But the point I'm making is the technology itself, of course, it can be used in particular ways. The point now is to use it. And here is where I would want to make the point that there are two levels, right? And I made this point, I think, last time. You do have the creators of technology, right? And then you have the innovators, that change the technology and make it work. I don't know if you understand. There are two levels. All of us want to be Steve Jobs, who happen to be at both levels at once. No, most of us are either at one level. Quite often we are one of the two. Let me not say where we generally are, right? So it has to be applicable. We meet on a regular basis some of your fintech colleagues. And when they talk to us at times, they tell us, oh yeah, I have created this new thing, it does this. And you ask them, okay, what language have you used to code? I'm not going to tell you what they tell us, which is some of them there's a language is very easy to code, but it's so easy to hack. You understand? Then the thing is of no use to man or beast. The point here is that there are other considerations in making something useful. And there has to be a specific, let's say, objective or outcome. Right? A specific problem that is being solved. And also it has to be done in a way that is consistent with the risks that we see and all those other things. So that is not a problem for blockchain. That's a problem of the innovators themselves. They have to be more positive and understand that we are working here on the world. We are not in Mars. We are not in some utopic island or any of those things. We have certain concerns. We need to have those addressed. And indeed, all the risks need to be dealt with appropriately. I'm sure I've answered your question thoroughly.